Okay. My watch shows 9 o'clock. On my computer shows 8:59. So I'm going to give it up. No, 9 o'clock. So it is 9 o'clock. I'd like to go ahead and open the Lake County Council of Mayor's meeting for September 30th, 2021. This is a Zoom meeting, so we are trying to follow the governor's orders. So with that, Mike, you want to just kind of, I see we got quite a few members on here. Maybe just go around the room and introduce.
Yep, no problem. So we have Mark Huber, Beach Park.
Morning.
Kyle Johnson, Buffalo Grove.
Morning.
Darren Monaco, Buffalo Grove.
Morning.
Bob Phillips, Deerfield.
Here.
Nick Leach, Gurnee.
Present.
Mike Brown, Lake Zurich.
Present.
Byron Kutz, Lake Forest.
Morning.
Kevin Carrier, Lake County DOT.
I'm here. Good morning.
Clay Johnson, Lindenhurst.
Here.
Mayor Jacob, Long Grove.
Present.
Mayor Rockingham from North Chicago.
Here.
Ed Wilmus, North Chicago.
Here.
Steve Shields, Round Lake.
Here.
Mayor Ryback from Wadsworth.
Here.
John Vanna
Good morning. Here.
and Dan Brinkman.
Good morning.
I believe that is everyone.
All right. Well, I do say welcome and thank you for joining us, and thank you for your participation. We do appreciate it, and it gives us an opportunity to move forward with our meeting with the fact that we do also have a quorum. With that, we'll go on to number 2, approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion?
Motion Lake Zurich.
Second, Beach Park.
It's been moved and second that the minutes from the July 29th meeting 2021 be passed as presented. Are there any questions? Hearing none, and being this is Zoom, I guess we should do a roll call.
Beach Park.
Mike?
Beach Park.
Aye.
Buffalo Grove.
Yes.
Deerfield.
Yes.
Gurnee.
Yes.
Lake Forest.
Yes.
Lake Zurich.
Aye.
Lake County DOT.
Yes.
Lindenhurst.
Aye.
Long Grove.
Would abstain.
North Chicago.
Aye.
Round Lake.
Aye.
Wadsworth.
Aye.
Very good. Motion carried. Number 3, current Lake STP program. I'm going to turn this over to Mike for Lake STP program and cost increase request.
Sure. So we have had significant changes since the last council meeting. We discussed these last week at the Transportation Committee, and there was many of the same folks on that call as well. So I will be covering similar items, but be brief. But we did have a number of changes, starting with COVID relief funds that were
Join the meeting.
awarded to the distributed to the council through CMAP. We discussed this last time that the COVID relief funds would follow the STP distribution process. So that meant that the council received about $2.3 million in COVID relief funding. CMAP put out guidance for those projects that we had to follow to program those. And so that guidance said that the funding had to be programmed for projects that were already in the council's active or contingency list had to be programmed in federal fiscal year 2022 and had to be programmed on projects that could advance equity, safety, or innovation type projects, or if we didn't have those projects ready in 2022, could be programmed on projects that, if advanced now, would allow us to then bring in equity, safety, or innovation projects in later years of our program. So based on that guidance and the council's methodology, I put together a program to spend those funds. And in short, that was advancing Zion's 27th Street resurfacing project from 2025 to 2022, Round Lake's Wild Spring Road project from 25 to 22, and then partially funding Lincolnshire's Barclay Boulevard project, which had been split funded into two stages in 22 and 23. We were able to move it all into fiscal year 2022 with these COVID relief funds. Then as a result of those changes, we were able to bring in a number of projects from the contingency list, including phase 2 engineering for North Chicago's Argonne and Lewis intersection improvement project and Highwoods Washington Avenue resurfacing project. And so if I switch back to that other sheet, basically with our 2.3 million in COVID relief funds, we are able to turn that into $5.4 million worth of projects, including investing $2.5 million in CMAP's cohort 4 very high need communities and 1.4 million in cohort 3 high need communities. Coupled with these COVID relief funds, we also got additional funding for STP funds. We got additional STP funds that came to the council. Our 2022 funds went up a little over $500,000 above what we had previously programmed. And then 2023 through 2025 went up about $452,000. So with those funds, we were able to grant a number of cost increases for a variety of projects, and also bring in Bannock-Burns Telegraph Road resurfacing project from the contingency list into fiscal year 2023. We were able to grant cost increases for Highland Park's Clavey Road, Lincolnshire's Barclay Boulevard, Round Lake's Wild Spring Road, Volo, Grant Township Fish Lake Road, Round Lake Beach's Hook Drive Extension, Lake Forest, Everett, and Waukegan. And so with that, the last item that I wanted to discuss with the committee was the cost increase request for the village of Buffalo Grove. So when we finished making all these changes, we had $461,000 unprogrammed in fiscal year 2022. And that is above and beyond the 20% cost increase that the council rules give staff permission to award a cost increase. Going through our status sheets, the best way for us, the most likely way that we will spend those funds in the next fiscal year, which starts tomorrow, I believe, is to award those to Buffalo Grove Stage 3 of their Brandywine and Thompson project. So we are looking for approval of that cost increase to award those additional funds. So in summary, with all of these changes, we advanced 3 projects. We brought 3 projects in from the contingency list, and then every sponsor that, not necessarily every project, but every sponsor that has a project in the current active program either got a cost increase, a new project, or a project advanced. So we were able to touch just about every project in the active program through all these changes. So like I said, significant changes, I think really good changes. We were able to bring projects up to 80% federal funding that weren't, we were able to move projects around based on sponsors' request and then advance some projects from the out years that are ready to go now. So with that, if there are questions, I can try to answer them. And then also we're looking for approval of that cost change for stage 3 of Brandywine and Thompson.
Okay, is there any questions to Mike? Okay. Well, hearing none, Mike, I think this is fantastic. To be able to get these projects funded with the additional dollars that we had. You know, a lot of these projects are going to get pushed out a little bit further. Now we're able to bring them on board and, you know, see them start to get accomplished. So I really do think that this is a good work and a great effort from your part to get these projects pushed out. So and move forward. So any other thing before I ask for a motion? All right, is there a motion to approve? Can we take, oh, these are kind of, it's the only one we have to do the increases on for the Buffalo Grove, correct?
Correct.
So is there a motion for the increase on the Buffalo Grove?
So moved, Blake Zurich.
Second, Deerfield.
It's been moved in second that the Buffalo Grove project be increased and requested for the amount of, what did you say, Mike?
$461,000.
$461,000. Okay, is there any question on the motion? All right, hearing none. Roll call.
All right, Beach Park,
Aye.
Buffalo Grove,
Aye.
Deerfield,
Yes.
Gurnee,
Aye.
Lake Forest,
Yes.
Lake Zurich,
Aye.
Lake County DOT,
Yes.
Libertyville, Lindenhurst,
Yes.
Long Grove,
Aye.
North Chicago,
Aye.
Round Lake,
Aye.
and Wadsworth.
Aye.
Motion carried. Very good. Going on to number 4, 2022 call for projects. On your Mike.
All right. So as we discussed last time, we do have an upcoming call for projects coming up in January of next year. The call will open at the end of January. Applications will be due at the end of March. And then we will score and rank projects. But in order for us to score and rank those projects, we have to have an approved methodology for scoring them. And we do need to make a couple of changes to our methodology from 2020. So included in the meeting packet was a track change version of these methodology changes. We did make a couple of tweaks at the Transportation Committee last week, corrected a typo that we had under the resurfacing portion, but the main changes are under the Onto 2050 regional priorities. We are required that at least 25% of our scoring be towards those planning priorities. Last time we had all 50 points. If a sponsor had a complete streets policy or ordinance, CMAP told us that we could not continue to have that be all 50 points. We needed to incorporate some of the other planning factors. So the proposal today is to keep that complete streets policy or ordinance as 25 points instead of 50, not keep it, but change it. And then add 10 points to a project score if the project includes new pedestrian accommodations. So in addition to having the complete streets policy, if the project is accommodating all users of the street with complete streets through new pedestrian accommodations, we would award 10 points. And then a potential for another 15 points by using the IEPA's environmental justice areas, which look at areas where there are populations of above the average of minority populations or low income populations or both. And then they also have a buffer area around those shown on their map. So what we're proposing here is that a project would receive 15 points if it was located within one of those environmental justice areas, 7 points if it was within the buffer area. So for a total of 50 points under this category then. The other change was to the sustained participation. We had previously put in 15 points for projects being on the contingency list as a way to incentivize people to keep their projects going on the contingency list. However, every project that wasn't funded last time did want to stay on the contingency list. And if they all get 15 points, you know, we're not distinguishing any projects, and we may as well give them 0 points if we're not distinguishing between them. So the proposal is to make it 5 points just for being on the contingency list, and then 10 points if while on the list a project milestone was completed, such as a kickoff meeting or design approval or environmental clearances, and then 15 points if 2 milestones were completed. And then based on some comments from the Transportation Committee last week, we also added some language in here that if a project has completed all the project milestones and is ready to obligate funding, then they would receive 15 points. So in an attempt to not hold back those communities that didn't complete milestones while on the contingency list because they had already been completed. So I think that was a good change. So those are the 2 changes to the scoring proposed for 2022. And I can pause and see if there's any questions, and then we're looking to approve this for the January call.
Are there any questions?
Yeah, Mike, Mark Huber, I've got a question regarding the environmental justice. And, you know, I went on, since we talked about your initial changes, you know, I went to take a look. Are we using the 19 numbers, or do you think they're going to be updating that information?
The last I looked, there was 2020 environmental justice areas on the IEPA website. There was an interactive map for 2020 EJ areas, and so my proposal, I guess, would be to use that, the most current one that we have.
Well, that's what when I did it, you know, after our last meeting, it didn't pop up the 2020s, but you said it's on there and it will populate that.
Yes, I will.
Excuse me. Yeah, can we get Mr. Chang to mute? Thank you. Appreciate. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mike, and
Yeah,
you had,
I'm trying to pull up the make sure I can see the map, because I did see the interactive map and I thought it was 2020.
Yeah, the number, the 2020 is on there, but it doesn't. It doesn't show the map and where they actually exist. It only shows the 19 and previous. That's why I was curious if it just wasn't on here.
So they did have an interactive map on their website, and my plan was to put a link to that map on the council website so that everyone would be able to see and know this is what we're using to score those projects.
Okay.
So that,
But,
you know,
yeah, and you believe it's 2020 though, so that's what we should focus on. So,
Yeah.
okay, that's what I wanted to clarify. Thank you.
any other questions? Well, before I ask for a motion, I do want to just say that, you know, as we've been moving forward and trying to get this in place, we just kind of went through our first round.
Join the meeting.
Just a few years, and then COVID came, and we had a little hiccups. But right now we're just kind of refining. As we start to get this surface transportation program guidebook really put together. So we all know that there's going to be hiccups as we move forward. But I think again, putting these changes in is going to help to benefit and be able to help us score our projects in a more defined method. So I think these changes are are put in place accordingly. So, all right. Is there-
The environmental justice map with both the EJ areas and the buffer areas turned on and that I found on the IPA's website. So I believe 2020 is the newest one that they have.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe my IT system is a little bit too much lockdown and they're, wouldn't let me call.
I know how that is.
Thank
It's
you.
all right. In our county GIS system, the most current one we have is 2016. So I understand.
So, very good. All right. Is there a motion to approve the adjusted changes to the Surface Transportation Program guidebook?
Motion to approve Beach Park. Thank you.
Is there a second?
Second, Deerfield.
It's been moved and second that the updates be made. Is there any questions? Roll call.
All right. I see that Stephanie Hannon from Bannockburn has joined us. So I'll start with Bannockburn.
Aye.
Beach Park,
Aye.
Buffalo Grove,
Aye.
Deerfield,
Yes.
Gurnee,
Yes.
Lake Forest,
Yes.
Lake Zurich.
Aye.
Lake County. Libertyville. Lindenhurst,
Aye.
Long Grove,
Aye.
North Chicago,
Aye.
Round Lake.
Aye.
And Wadsworth.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, everybody. Next we have the meeting schedule for 2022. It's been in your packet. These are kind of customary that we, get our meeting schedule put together for the up and coming year. So,
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman. Wadsworth.
is there a second?
Second, Deerfield.
Second.
It's been moved and second that the meeting schedule be passed as presented. Are there questions? Roll call.
Bannockburn,
Aye.
Beach Park,
Aye.
Buffalo Grove,
Aye.
Deerfield,
Yes.
Gurnee, Lake Forest,
Yes.
Lake Zurich,
Aye.
Lake County,
Aye.
Libertyville, Long Grove,
Aye.
Lindenhurst,
Aye.
North Chicago,
Aye.
Round Lake,
Aye.
and Wadsworth.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, next, transportation update.
So just a few updates in kind of in place of other business. 2 calls for projects are currently open. So one is through IDOT, the TARP program, Truck Access Route Program. It helps pay for improvements to roads that would be designated as a designated truck route. That application is due in November, and there's information on IDOT's website. It was also included in the meeting email today. The other one is the CRISI program, which is a nationwide competitive program under the Federal Railroad Administration. And that one I bring up because it can pay for grade separations between roads and railroads. And it can also, you can also apply for engineering funds through the CRISI program. Applications are due, I believe, November 30th. It's in November for that one. PACE also asked us to just share the word that they are looking to hire additional drivers. So if you know anyone that is looking for employment opportunities, they have positions open, and they wanted us to share that with our members. And then lastly, I mentioned this at Transportation Committee last week. But Senate Bill 1697 from the spring legislative session was signed by the governor in August, which exempts motor fuel tax from the requirements of GATA so that you don't have to submit the quarterly status updates for your motor fuel tax distributions. That said, IDOT is supposed to be putting out a circular letter that kind of gives the timing and the information of when those are supposed to be finished. They have not done that yet, so I don't have a whole lot of information of when, how that's going to wrap up. But one thing to note is that the Rebuild Illinois bond funds were not included in that legislation. And so those will still require those GATA quarterly status updates for the Rebuild Illinois bond funds that are being distributed to municipalities. We did hear through the grapevine that IDOT is hoping to get the Rebuild Illinois bond funds added, perhaps in veto session, but we'll see if that does happen. But as of right now, they are not included. So, those were the four main updates. And then, last week I did give a brief update on the goings on in Washington. There are a lot of things that need to happen in a very short period of time. The federal fiscal year ends at midnight tonight. The current transportation bill ends at midnight tonight. The FAST Act expired last year and they extended it for 1 year. So without a new long-term transportation bill or a continuing resolution, we would not have federal authority to authorize federal funds for projects. So projects on the November letting specifically would likely be delayed. As I'm sure everyone is aware, there is a lot going on in Washington. They're trying to avoid a government shutdown, pass the infrastructure bill, pass a human infrastructure bill. They have to do defense reauthorization. I saw this morning that the Senate said they reached an agreement on a continuing resolution to keep the government open through December 3rd. The House passed a December 3rd continuing resolution last week, so I don't know if those two are in agreement or not. So I don't pretend to make any predictions of what might happen over the next 12 and a half, 15 hours, but there is a lot of things that kind of need to happen to avoid impacts to potentially our projects and a lot of other things. So there's deadlines for action. We'll see what happens. But if there is not a new continuing resolution or long-term transportation bill signed, then we may have projects. We do have at least one project in the council program that's targeting the November letting, so that may get pushed into January or beyond. We'll just have to see what happens. So more to come. If they do pass the infrastructure bill that was passed by the Senate previously, we should see a sizable increase in the council program in the next coming years. CMAP's analysis shows about it's either a 32 or a 34% increase in STP funds, which would follow the formulas from Washington to Illinois to CMAP to the council all the way on through. So a third, our program growing by a third is a significant increase.
Yeah, it is.
That would be by 2026. So we may not see that all right away, but we would certainly see incremental growth from probably fiscal year 23 and on. So that would be a good thing if those funds came. There would also be a sizable increase in available TAP funding through the region. And I think CMAP's analysis shows a 76% increase in TAP funding, which is for bike paths through CMAP. So that would be great for us as well. So that's really the update. There's until it's done, it's not done. We all know that. So We'll just have to see what happens over the next few hours and days here.
Okay, Mike,
Thanks,
thank you.
Mike.
Thank you for that update on, let's hope things get accomplished. All right, public comment.
I don't believe I received any public comment. No, I did not.
All right, hearing no public comments, our next meeting is, January 27th, 2022. So with that, everyone, I entertain a motion to adjourn and hope everyone has a safe and happy holidays. And I guess that's a little early to be saying it, but
Start with
But,
Halloween.
yeah,
Yeah.
January 27th is a little ways off, so. All right, with that, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move, Mr. Chairman. Wadsworth. Deerfield.
Been moved to second that our meeting stand adjourned. I think we can just do an all in favor, right, on this one?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you
Thank you.
soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Happy